Hi guys, Jessie from the Scrappy Sisters. Thank you for joining me on another Scrappy Sisters Scrap September. And today's prompt is to use a cut file, a punch, or a die cut. And I am using these gorgeous butterflies that I have cut from the Confessions of a Paper Addict store. And I have cut them, it's one butterfly that I resized into 3 different sizes and cut 3 different versions of this cut file. Cut them on black, as you can see, and I am using a Jen Hatfield vellum, so I'm just looking at how much off cut I can have, because I'd really love, if I can, a little straight 12 inch long, and hopefully a little bit of vellum left, because I'd like to do some strips of paper on my big background. That's probably making 0 sense, but you'll see as we continue on. So I'm just using my Mont Art PVA glue and just covering the entire cut file in glue, and I'm going to try and turn the cut file over and just go splat all in one go, because I don't want to smudge the glue onto the vellum. Chances are I'm not going to nail this, but that's what I'm trying for. So that, I can try and get as little amount of glue on the actual rest of the vellum as possible. I don't show you the process of all 3 of these, just attaching these to the vellum. I'm just showing you this first one because I know I've had a few people ask, how do you do it without, smudging and all of that? I don't always. I often smudge, but if I can turn it over and splat it all in one go, that's my best chance. So ready, 1, 2, 3, and splat. And I think I did pretty good at not smudging that. So I did that to all 3 of them. And then you probably can't really tell, but there's a few sections of my cut file that's super, super, super skinny because my paper moved off my mat. My mat wasn't very sticky. So I'm just sort of thickening it up a little bit by drawing straight onto the vellum, and then when I cut it out, I'm just going to sort of thicken that up by cutting the vellum a little bit wider. I hope that makes sense. So I've gone ahead and cut out my butterflies from off the vellum, and I've also matted my photos, and you can see that I'm mostly using the Maggie Holmes Willow Lane collection, and you can see my beautiful butterflies there as well. Now, off screen, I also added some dimensional magic all the way around the butterflies that just give them a really gorgeous, shiny, hard effect that's a little bit like, I suppose, a flare finish on the outside of them. It's just really gorgeous, and it just kind of strengthened them up and just gave them a really nice, shiny finish. So I want to create a layered effect over on the right hand side with the little bit of vellum and this beautiful love heart paper. So I'm just using that green piece of paper behind to help me work out the 12 by 12 size, and I deliberately chose this really bright green color just so it's really easy to see if any of it's showing through from behind the gorgeous soft colors of the Maggie Holmes collection, because I want to make sure that I've made the background paper the correct size. And so while I go ahead and do that, I thought I would mention our special guest for this prompt. So our special guest is a superstar of cut files, if I do say so, and that is the amazing Virginia from Confessions of a Paper Addict. She creates and designs and sells cut files, so she certainly knows what she's doing when it comes to cut files. And over on her page, on her Facebook page and her YouTube channel, there is millions of cut files and layouts and process videos that she has created over there. She also does other things too, like bookmarks, Shaker Pocket bookmarks, and cards. She does some really amazing cards. Like one of the ones she did a while back was you press a button and it actually lights, turns a light on, just amazing. And she has a process video for all of that. It includes a circuit inside the card. Who does these things? She's just incredible. She's a New Zealander, and she, it's just really, really, really awesome. Her layouts are super bright, super colorful. There's a lot going on, but they're all so cohesive and she just creates the most beautiful projects. So I highly, highly, highly recommend checking her out, and especially clicking on the description box down below and checking out the amazing layout that she has done for us with her cut file prompt. And I'm certain that she'll be using one of her own cut files, just as coincidentally I am too. So I've just put glue down the center of the butterfly because I want the wings to sort of pop up a little bit, and I've done that with all 3 of the butterflies. I was umming and ahhing about that little one because I actually ended up with the large butterfly a little bit more central than I had originally thought in my head, but it's down now, so that's okay. So once I glue these on, it's then going to come to embellishing time, and I am really out of embellishments when it comes to the Willow Lane collection. I've got a little bit of chipboard left, and I've fussy cut some butterflies, and I've got a little bit of those left, which I've already done for a layout. Butterflies, I mean. So I'm just sort of scraping the bottom of the jar. I think I've got one more layout in me with this collection, and then it'll just have to go in. Whatever's left will have to go into my stash, because I don't even think I have that much paper left either, to be honest. So I'm going to words would be nice. I'm going to tuck and stick these little butterflies all around the other butterflies. And there are a couple of the chipboard butterflies left. I said I had some chipboard, but I also have the actual chipboard butterflies. So I'm going to include those somewhere in the layout as well, just get them on. But otherwise, there's not much other bits of ephemera that I've really got left to use. There's some love hearts that I think I'm going to use some of those sparkly love hearts that came. It's not chipboard, it's foam. They're stuck up on foam. So once I get all these down, I'm going to have a look at the title. I've already created my title. You should be able to see it over in the top left hand of the video. It's called Party Day, because that's what these photos are. Tom and I drove to Geelong to go to my cousin's engagement party, and we left Daddy and Jack back home in Melbourne, and it was the first night away that Tom and I had done on our own. And then to go out quite late at night as well. It was all a bit exciting and a bit, everything going on. And so, yeah, those words, Party Day, they were different. They were like corkboard thickers. They're cardboard thickers, chipboard thickers that had the pattern of like corkboard on top. So I coloured those in with a Sharpie, and then again I used the dimensional magic on top of those. That's why they've got that sort of shiny finish happening. But then I misjudged where I wanted to put them, and the word is almost hidden. So we just managed, but I'm a little bit disappointed with, so it should be like that, as you can see, where you can actually read the word perfect and no problem. But I've already stuck down some of the butterflies and stuff, so I end up, not quite getting that the way I wanted it to be. But anyway, it is what it is. And you can sort of read the word party if you look underneath the butterfly's wing. So I'm going to jump ahead and have that all stuck down, because you don't need to watch me doing that, and we'll move on to the next step. So as you can see, we've got an arty day instead of a party day, but the P is there, and at least it doesn't make a word that's, inappropriate. So now I'm just lost. I really know where that butterfly should go, but there's too many mustard coloured ones around it. So instead of umming and ahhing about this, I'm just going to move that mustard one that was throwing me off and put it somewhere else, because it was, confusing me. Though even still, I've still ended up with 3 mustard colours altogether. But anyway, irrelevant. So I'm just about done. I think I'm going to throw on a couple of these word phrases because they're black and I've got them left in the foam ephemera, so might as well. Not 100% sure where to put them. I've got this big blank space underneath that purple butterfly, but it's very challenging to put anything in that doesn't stand out like a sore thumb. So I don't want the teacups. I don't want those flower frames. They don't really work. I do want some of those love hearts, so I'm just going to roll with this. I'm so indecisive. Look at me. I cannot work out where to put it. So then I decide I'm going to put a couple of these gold love hearts out, and I'm going to use a few of these little puffy love hearts as well together. And that's going to be a really nice way to fill in those gaps that I've got between the butterflies. And that makes me a little bit happier because, yes, I'm filling in some of those bigger places. So that's good. And then I will be almost finished because there's not really anything else that I can do to this layout, and I think that the cut files kind of speak for themselves in creating a background for this layout, so I'm more than happy with that. So we'll splash on a little bit of Heidi Shine and we will bring you in for some close-ups. So as I mentioned earlier, definitely check out the description box below. There's a playlist for all of the videos that we have done so far in our September Scrap September series. There are links to Virginia's layout. There are links to her Confessions of a Paper Addict Cutfile store and her Facebook group, where she actually does a free cut file every fortnight, I think, every week, something like that. But definitely worth joining the Facebook group to get a free cut file. Hey, everyone loves something free. So definitely check all that out. Thank you for watching. We will see you tomorrow with our next Scrap September video. Bye, everyone.